Anyone here? Oh my god. This is so scary. Friday 13th. Hello, my friends. Operator Starsky here. Let's not shout. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. What did I do? No, I don't want to remove my user. So, today we have a special stream because, I was checking the news today and I found some really interesting article about the recent scandal in Russia. So they had this air reconnaissance dude, very, very famous one. And like, long story short, he went to jail in Russia in like 2015 or something. And then he returned, and what they did, they basically threw him into a meat grinder, the meat assault. And he, like, obviously he died. And it's a big scandal right now in Russia. Big scandal. They're trying to blame each other on what happened. And I was reading his biography, he went to jail for raiding, for like all kinds of crimes. And then I realized, guys, it's time to make a stream dedicated to the Russian heroes, like we did previous time, remember? We had a small review of Russian criminals devouring Russia, and I decided, why not? I mean, it's time. Plus, it's a good date. What do we have here? Just to remind you guys where we finished the last time. Last time, we were talking about this gentleman from terrorist group Wagner, and this gentleman was accused of murdering and raping 85-year-old Russian woman. So first he killed her and then he raped her. And, oh my god. I collected a small... Sorry. I collected a small... how to call it? Collection for you guys. And we will be talking about it right now. My light may go off because I didn't charge it. So don't be scared, okay? I will be scared for you. Okay, let's start with probably this one. I will be translating for you. So, in Barnaul, ex-SMO, Special Military Operation, ex-SMO soldier killed a veteran of Chechen War. In Chebarkul. When we call them orcs, it's not just because, it's because they are. So, in Chebarkul, Chelyabinsk Oblast, a dude who returned from the war killed, or basically beat to death, his compatriot, veteran of the war in Chechnya, Alexei Khudyakov. According to his widow, the dude who killed him keeps staying free. Like he's not prisoned yet, or I don't know. Maybe he will never be. Guys, we have a long night today. Another one confessed of admitted killing an 8-year-old girl. So in Rostov, Ruslan Shingirey, Russian veteran, admitted that he killed an 8-year-old girl. Stanitsa Olginskaya, Aksayski region of the Russian Oblast. This is like, the problem is not Russian veterans returning with like all kinds of traumas from the war, etc., etc. The problem is that basically they recruit convicts. That is the main problem. And then they return from the war being pardoned for their crimes, and they keep committing crimes. But I think that this is absolutely, I cannot call it beautiful, of course. Former leader of organized criminal group and veteran of war in Ukraine, Andrei Ashiulov, killed a local man by shooting his head. So he received 18 years in prison for, like, previously. He received 18 years in prison for robberies, battery, and extortion. But in 2023, he was recruited and he went to the war in Ukraine, where he received pardon, and then he returned home. And after returning home, he shot a 50-year-old local who just passed him by on a bicycle. So, he was drunk, he didn't like something, and he murdered this man with a weapon. This one is really interesting. Guys, this is a love story. This is a love story from Russia. You're gonna love it. Pardon, not in Russia, on the territory of the occupied Ukraine in Luhansk. Actually, yeah. It's a Russian/Ukrainian love story. So, in Luhansk, commander of the Russian airborne unit and author of patriotic poems, Aydin Jamidulov, proclaimed his lover a Ukrainian spy. After that, he kidnapped her, stabbed her, basically killing her, and then he blew her up to pieces. And the reason he did it is because, like, the very reason behind this murder was because he was scared that she was gonna tell about their connection to his wife in Russia. Like, literally, I wish Russians didn't make, like, those propagandist movies. I wish they would just make real life stories based on, like, real facts. There's a lot of them. They would, their mafia movies would be less cringy than if they did this. But I think this is amazing. Next up. In Orlov Oblast, police arrested the members of organized criminal group that consisted of former Wagnerites. They were doing extortion on behalf of drug dealers, and were taking cars and apartments from their victims. During 1 year, those Russian gentlemen were extorting money, cars, and apartments from people that were connected to the drug business, to the local drug business. Russian heroes return home. This is amazing. Again, guys, this I'm just reading the Russian sources. There's nothing from Ukraine. There's literally Russian sources. This one is also very interesting. So, 7 Russian soldiers were tried for looting, for maraudery. Do you have this word maraudery? I googled, I didn't find it. Looting, basically looting. So 7 Russian soldiers were tried for looting, and basically Russian paper wrote about it. But of course, in Bucha, they could not do anything like that. All that was just provocation and fake. Yeah. Oh my God. Guys, this one is crazy. In Kemerov Oblast. In Kemerov Oblast, Russian man who first fought on the front line and then was captured by the Ukrainians and then was exchanged, murdered a 12-year-old girl. So the summary of this short story, I would call it a horror story, the summary is really, really simple. If in 2023 Putin would not release him from prison, he would still be in jail, right? And the kid would still be alive. But again, we're talking about Russia. Who cares about human life in Russia? This one gave me a lot of lols today, like seriously. So, a member of Wagner returned from the war and killed his friend, his childhood friend, because of the girl. But the reason he was tried in 2020 was because he killed another friend because of a different girl. What the hell? Like, what the hell is, like, I see that this guy is like very, very, rich in feelings, apparently. I don't know how you call it. We call it like любвеобильный. My God, how to translate it? But at least he lived an interesting life, full of adventures and, relations. But next one is absolutely freaking cringy. Guys, this one that I'm gonna read you is classic. It could only happen in Russia. I don't know if you know like anything like that, just let me know, but you're gonna love it. So this man on the photo, you can see there's a lot of medals, and he has medals for a reason, because he was granted a title of Hero of Russia. He was junior colonel, or like first colonel. Like there's colonel and then there's sub colonel. That's him. So again, he was captured in Luhansk. So he received a title of Hero of Russia, And of course, like every time they do in Russia, they celebrate this shit with huge amounts of alcohol. He celebrated receiving the award, the title, and after getting extremely wasted, he murdered a local woman while celebrating. So he shot her, and of course he was arrested. And after that, he lost his title of Hero of Russia. But it was still, like worth it, at least for like several hours. That is a success story, my friends. That is really cool. Okay, here we have this man with that cheburashka on his chest. What is he famous for in Russia? I will translate it for you, my friends. So in Volgograd, the dude, that dude, killed his grandma. Generally, he doesn't look really young himself. I believe that his grandma was like a pretty old lady, but he killed his grandma by beating the living crap out of her with a chair. Again, like, dude, you're a soldier. Could you like use something else? Anyways, the most interesting fact about this murder, my friends, is that he only received 7 years for murder, and it's almost 2 times smaller, 2 times less than people receive for like a post in the social media criticizing Russian government or criticizing the Russian war in Ukraine. This is something you should know. Murder the grandma. Everybody does that. But criticizing Putin is a much bigger crime. Okay, next up. Far east of Russia. A hero of Russian war in Ukraine killed a mother who had multiple kids and then burned her body in the car. Plenty of kids remained orphans, right? And how many? She had 3 kids. He killed the mother of 3 and burned her body in the car. How do you think, how many years did he receive for that? He received 7 years. Again, if you criticize war in Russia, in social media, if you criticize war, if you even call it war, you will receive like 2 times more than that. But apparently, criticizing Putin is a much worse crime than that. Russian heroes return home, my friends. Russian heroes return home. There's a hole. I can see myself through it. How did I do it? Anyways. Okay, this one is also very, very interesting. In Volgograd, why Volgograd? I think Volgograd is, it's like analog of like Florida, only in Russia. I don't know. And basically, guys, I think that Russians can now be considered Florida man of Earth. The famous Florida man can peacefully retire now and do whatever he likes, because now we have Russian veterans, so-called. So in Volgograd, a veteran of Russian invasion of Ukraine shot a group of children and wounded a 12-year-old boy. Well, basically, I'm not surprised because, Russian propagandists told Russians that they can kill children and nothing will happen to them. And basically, this is what they have now. Next one. This amazing Russian man what did he do? I will tell you in just a second. This amazing Russian man. So actually, he had disabilities, apparently, and what he did using his... Just a second. Translate in English. No, it's not the word. Crutch? Crutch? Crotch? Not crotch, crutch. Google, don't make me mad. It's Friday the 13th. It's not the proper word. Come on. Google, friends, Google is making fun of me. Crutch. CRUTCH. You know what? Dog nail. Do you call it dog nail? No, you don't. Crutch. CRUTCH. Wait, let me check out images. Are we talking about the same shit? Crutch. Yeah, that's the crutch. Like this stuff here, yeah? Yeah. So, using his crutch, not crotch, crutch, this beautiful Russian gentleman beat up a girl and was threatening to kill her using crutch. What the hell is wrong with the world? I have no idea. Like, literally. There's also a video showing that, but it's too horrible to show. Crutch. Oh my god. Greg C says, crutch in the crotch is bad. Oh yeah. And the last one for tonight. Oh, no, it's not the last one. Actually, there was a different story. Oh my god, did I... Anyways, I will tell you about this one. In Ural, a dude who returned from the war in Ukraine killed his wife and her 7-year-old daughter. It turned out that the killer, the murderer, traditionally for Russia, turned out to be a former convict who would do his time in the jail otherwise and wouldn't kill anybody if he wasn't released. And You know, I think that he will go to jail again, and from the jail, he can be released again and go to war again, and then get pardoned again. It's like circle of, how to call it, circle of Russian world, circle of life and death in Russia. This is how it works. This is genius. The other dude, oh my god, how to... here it is, this one. So the dude who was, sorry, let me hide this one. The dude who was tried for the fire in Russia, where I believe 13 people died, will be sent to the war, to Ukraine, where of course he will get pardoned and then return to, if he survives of course, and then returns back to Russia, where he will continue, look, the death spiral, yeah, that's the word, absolutely. And after returning to Russia, he will keep doing whatever the crazy shit he likes. Let me know what do you think about this compilation, because I think it's absolutely genius, considering that it's Friday the 13th. Okay, I'm here, now we can start. Thank you very much, Eddie. Let's do this. The Gokin. Gokin Cycle. Gokin. Actually, you know, Gokin can be like a new character, like new Russian character. Gokin. I like it. I gotta save it. Bobo. I'm officially and absolutely transparently snatching this name from you. Oh my god. Oh. Greetings from Stockholm. This year, by the way, I've been to Stockholm. I don't know if you saw that. I made a video, but unfortunately my sound sucked in the video and you can barely hear what I'm saying. But it was absolutely amazing trip. I met Brandon, I met the dog, I met Anna, who celebrated her birthday, not Anna from Ukraine, the other one. And it was really cool. It was really cool. One thing I wanted to talk about today, guys, because, you know, I noticed a lot of, I would say, rather desperate commentaries in my previous video, in the video that was posted before that video, and I don't really like the tendency, guys, but it's absolutely natural. In the United States, elections are coming. Everybody feels nervous and anxious and depressed because informational space is currently overloaded with all kinds of crap. Europe, basically the same. A lot of people angry. Again, tendencies are extremely interesting. There was a report from Italy, for example. I will show it to you if I can Why did I close it? Oh my god. Russia is not the enemy was one of the most popular tags that I saw on Twitter over the past, I would say, 6 or maybe 7 months. Russia is not the enemy. The enemy is, your government, your media, your president, whatever, far left, far right, whatever you like. And one of the problems is that the people who have big audience, the opinion makers, in the United States too, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I don't even have to call the names. Trump. So they want to legitimize Russian invasion. They say, well, you see, there is Russia bad, Ukraine good, but in reality it's absolutely different. In reality, we need somebody to tell us what's wrong and what's right, what happens there, who is good and who is bad. And this is a really, really bad tendency. But Russians will keep doing that. They will, of course, keep trying to justify their invasion, to legitimize their invasion of Ukraine through all kinds of paid talking heads, paid media, independent media paid by RT, through politicians, etc., etc. We will still see that. And that is a problem. Guys, one of the things that I noticed back in the days, like when the war in Ukraine only started in like 2015, 2014, is that such news always demotivate people. Always. And eventually, no matter how optimistic you are, how much positive you are in the offline, in the real life, but usually it works like a demotivator, and it's really easy to burn out and get depressed. This is something that we don't often talk about, but it's something so important, because when I served and I saw a lot of guys who joined the brigade in the beginning, and then over the years they were like, man, they started to burn out and stuff. I realized it's back then that you have to motivate people every single day. And it's not only about yourself. Self-motivation is crucial. It's very much needed. But you should also motivate other people. And when you feel bad, when you feel depressed, demoralized, you should go and meet your friends. That is one of the reasons why I have so many streams for you guys and with you, is because we all need company. We should never face, the spiders in our heads. We should never face them alone. We should always face them with our friends. It's always funny, more fun than being alone. You can have a beer together. You can eat a cat together. I hope that everybody ate their cat today, or at least yesterday, I didn't. He was too fast. But this is something that we should always do. I'm not talking about eating cats. I'm talking about motivating each other. Very, very easy to lose your motivation. Very, very easy to lose your morale. But it's really hard to keep motivation running and keep working, keep fighting. We should do that. Russians are very, very motivated. because they're cunning. They celebrate every single time their informational operation works, or succeeds, etc., etc. We should be more motivated than them. One thing that should motivate you, my friends, is that our opponents are not prepared for any direct action. Generally speaking, guys, to make it like really, really simple, our main enemies, if we're talking about internet, our main enemies don't exist. They're like, majority of them are literally virtual people, fake people. Those who exist and those who support Russian terrorism, they're not ready for any offline action. They're not ready to protest in like big numbers. They're not ready to basically do anything. And this is something that we can do. For example, that scandalous movie that Russians made for the festival. Only because all kinds of people around the world messaged the organizers of this cinematography festival, messaged them, harassed them every single day, hundreds, if not thousands of messages. Only because of that, they decided to cancel this movie. Russians are not able to do that. Those who support Russians are not able to do that. For example, if we're talking about the United States, the biggest audience of Russians there, of people supporting Russians there, are people that in Ukraine we call Zyobe. How to translate it, I'm not even sure. I told you about the phenomenon of Zrada in Ukraine, right? And basically, they are people completely disappointed in anybody. They are completely disappointed, and they don't trust like the government authorities, They expect that everybody is a traitor, everybody wants their money, everybody wants to use them, etc., etc. You probably you know such people. There's a lot of such people, and they just talk about this stuff all day long. They are really unhappy, actually. Indeed, they are. And in Ukraine, we had like a whole cult of such people. Unfortunately, I had a lot of such people among my friends. They are not angry. They are, Steve, they are generally just, they feel pity towards themselves. They like to cry over their hard life. And that everybody wants to, I don't know, take their kids, forcefully change their sex, and bring them home to the shocked parents, something like that. We had such people in Ukraine, a lot, back in 2012, starting from there. Again, they were a good example of how Russian propaganda works, because Russian propaganda, if it's not even propaganda, Russian psyops, if they're aimed at your society, they're aimed at different groups of people in order to make them fight each other. We had a lot of that stuff, and unfortunately, I had a lot of such people among my friends. One of them was my really, really close friend who died, in, I believe, 2019 or 20, before the full-scale invasion. He's the reason why I even started serving, because he was taken as prisoner in 2014 near Ilovaisk, and that's when I decided that I should enlist and somehow help to bring him home. But he was, representative of such type of people. He would always, whenever you say something, motivational, he would always go like, come on, like everybody wants to betray you. Tomorrow we will all die, that is literally the type of people who oppose us. That is literally the type of people who hate Ukraine, who hate their country, basically. That is the type of people who will support Russians because Ukraine is, supporting Ukraine is mainstream, and mainstream is bad, that is the type of people who will like deny Holocaust eventually, because we can see first steps of that being made involving Tucker Carlson and other pro-Russian degenerates. So the summary of my long speech is that those are people that are generally opposing us, and in most cases, they don't believe that they can change anything. They don't believe that they will succeed even. And we do. And this is why we are strong. So, guys, motivate each other, meet friends, talk to your friends, support each other. This is very, very important, especially today. And generally do that, okay? Eventually, people who like cry about themselves, that their own problem, eventually they just fall into this cycle. It's like it's repeating. They cannot exit it. They overly victimize themselves. They just keep, receiving probably some kind of satisfaction from being a victim and talking about it, all the time. This is not a proper setup, okay? This is not a proper motivation. Our motivation is different. We have to win, we have to succeed, and we have to support each other. This is extremely, extremely important and crucial. Guys, I hope you will hear my message because it's important. Okay, let's check out the questions if we have. I don't know what I'm doing today. I don't even know why the hell am I whispering still. Question from Bobo. Is there a hierarchy for which pets you should eat first and which pets you save for last? Well, usually it's like this. You save, like what I do. I usually save the most yummiest thing, like the tastiest dish, like for later. And in the beginning, I'm eating something less tasty, and then I'm eating something more tasty. So it depends. It also depends on how you cook the cat, how you prepare the cat, because the cat must be prepared properly. Zyobe. No, it's Zyobe. It's hard to translate. Don't eat me. Sorry, too late. I wish we didn't, but we have to. We have to. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. Do you use ketchup or mustard when you eat cat? It depends. I personally prefer mayonnaise and onion, a lot of onion. It also depends how fat is the cat, because if a cat is really fat, you have to add plenty of onion and preferably make something like a shashlik. But again, it's like you can boil, you can fry. Everything depends on you. I'm German. We used to eat hamsters. We actually do too, sometimes, according to the Russian propagandists. Of course, we're much luckier than people in Cardiff. If Cardiff is watching us, I hope you guys are doing well. Do you classify your friends as officers? Do I classify my friends as officers? Well, Max is officer, and of course, he's my friend. I have a lot of friends among officers. The UN failed so hard. What is the purpose of this institution at all? That is the thing. You see, if you want to survive, because United Nations is a really, really old institution, really old. They did some positive things because if, for example, we're talking about war in former Yugoslavia, they didn't prevent all the murders, but at least they did something. My father was a peacekeeper in former Yugoslavia in 1992 and 3, and a lot of lives were actually saved. But in other cases, it's kind of meh. The problem is United Nations is really old. It's outdated. It's archaic. And it should be reformed big time because there's a lot of things that are not supposed to exist, like Russia being a member of Security Council, Russia which violates the international law is still a constant member of Security Council. It's not supposed to be like that. Some kind of global organization like United Nations should exist. Due to the United Nations, we learned that 141 countries of the world condemned Russian invasion of Ukraine. This is the fact. And at the same time, we need to do something, not us, but I don't know, the members of the United Nations. They should do something to reform it, to make it more modern and make sure that United Nations can face the challenges of today. Hello, Scotland Scorpion. I don't live stream daily. I do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometimes on weekends. Generally, I'm trying to stick to this schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but generally it's like that. Gokin King. Wasn't that from the movie Labyrinth? I don't know. Actually, I gotta check it out. Where's your white hockey mask? You see, the problem is I see myself like in the reflection in the camera, and I'm scared to death when I look at that mask. That's why I decided to remove it. I said that they should make new United Nations and not include Russia. Why can't they do that? They can. But do they want to do that? That's a different question. This perfectly connects to Ukrainians eating their hamsters on the roof. Yeah, exactly. There was this. I don't have it right here, but there was this absolutely amazing Russian advertisement of Ukrainian family eating hamsters. This one, how many people died in Poltava a couple of days ago? I will answer this question right now because I have seen the numbers. I have seen the numbers just today. Okay, Shaheds. So it is reported. It's as of September the 5th. 55 dead and 328 wounded, according to the rescue service. The bodies keep being identified. Again, it's a week-old update, but according to the Ukrainian Rescue Service, 55 men dead and 328 wounded. There were different talks, there were different versions that they were doing some kind of, I don't know, meeting alignment or something. Then there are reports from the guys that they were not doing anything like that. But the problem is sometimes such things happen because one way or another Russian intelligence works. You can see yourself how many Russian spies are being captured in Ukraine on a daily basis. People with observation points in their apartments, people with boat farms and all the equipment. And Russians pay big money for the intel. That's why it's not the first case. Can we do that? Can we do something to make sure that Russia doesn't exist on the political map of the world? My friend Vlad, I believe that it's possible, but I'm not sure if we will be so lucky to see that. But we have to do all we can. Michael Myers or Jason? I believe Jason. Michael Myers is not bad. The mask is spookier, of course. I agree on that. But Jason, it's a classic. Jason, like first, second, maybe third part, they were good. Everything else kind of meh. But Jason is classic. Come on. I mean, good old Jason. Nothing scares you more than big rotten dude in a hockey mask. Do you like Vice President Harris as our next president? Do you think Harris will work well with President Zelensky? First of all, I will like whoever you elect, okay? I will like whoever is good for you. I am not gonna, tell you whom to vote and whom to not to vote, because I am not Prigozhin. Only Russians do that, okay? You are smart people and you will elect the president that is worth. Or do all you can to make this person win the presidential elections. So That's my position. I'm not, saying that this is better than that one, because I am not a pro in American politics at all. I am dumb as brick when it comes to American politics. That's why I trust you guys. You guys know much more than me about the American politics. I am subscribed to a bunch of like commentators on YouTube. Some of them are left, some of them are right, some of them are veterans, some of them are not veterans. But I'm trying to understand as much as possible. And by the way, there was some really important update that I wanted to talk about. Do I have it here? Yeah, I think I do. This one was... Just a second, guys. Robert Wood, the representative of the United States in the United Nations, reported that Iran and Russia signed contract for delivering missiles in winter 2023. And in summer, Iranians taught Russians how to use them. That is interesting. And this is the news that I wanted to share with you. How the hell do I copy this address? All right. Get out of here. US unveils Russian state media's key role in intel operations globally. So there was a notification that very, very soon there will be a report published by the Biden's administration regarding Russia Today's role in the intelligence gathering and interfering with the elections and yada yada, and spreading disinformation on the West. This is something that I'm really looking forward to see, actually. Because again, guys, when we criticize... Oh my god, this is Pope Francis! Pope Francis criticizes Trump and Harris, says voters must choose between lesser of two evils. Why voters cannot choose like something like good? Okay, I don't know. Yeah, but we often criticize the security services, the secret services. But at the same time, guys, such operations sometimes require time. That would be very, very interesting, guys. I think I will make another stream and we will definitely talk about it because it's really important. The hell is this? That's me. Do you ever watch Destiny? What is Destiny? Is that a show? How will MAGA feel about being persuaded that they need to support Iran next? A lot of them actually do, like followers of Jackson Hinkle, for example, they already start, moving in this direction, which is crazy. I don't know, when such countries as, I don't know, like Iran, North Korea, China became friend Russia that always dreamt of destroying America and enslaving American people. Since when they became like buddies? On the other hand, if we talk about such individuals as Jackson Hinkle, we should also check out those. For example, there was this absolutely beautiful lady, Jane Fonda. People in the United States apparently remember her. People in Europe, I'm not sure, but in 1972, this lady went to Vietnam, and she visited. Like, I have no idea how exactly do you even contact the Viet Cong army and tell them that you're a American journalist who wants to visit them and make a movie. Like, as a military, I don't believe that it happens this way. As a military, I believe that there's literally some kind of proxy, okay, that connects her and Viet Cong. And apparently, you at least suspect what kind of proxy it was. But she went to North Vietnam and she made a movie. And she was condemning American soldiers as war criminals, and on hearing that many POWs claimed to have been tortured, Fonda denounced them as liars. This is so cool. And when we talk about individuals like Jackson Hinkle, who else? J.D. Vance, for example, J.D. Vance, who said that it's not that simple that Russia bad, Ukraine good. It's much more complicated, actually. We need somebody to help us understand. It's easy to understand when somebody violates law. He's wrong. He's criminal, like Putin. And when somebody defends the country, the borders, internationally recognized, he's right, like us. But J.D. Vance doesn't give a slightest fuck about international law, just as Trump, basically. And when we talk about Jane Fonda, of course, we understand that such people didn't go anywhere. They will always be, and they will unfortunately keep doing what they do. Aldrich Ames began working for CIA during high school. Holy crap! And did so until he was discovered to be a Soviet double agent in 1994. Ooh, this is interesting. It's interesting because I didn't read his story. He specialized in selling the identities of CIA agents placed within the KGB to the KGB. The damage he caused U.S. intelligence efforts can't really be known, but conservative estimates indicate that he exposed over 100 agents and was directly responsible for at least 10 deaths. A thorough accounting of his finances revealed that he and his wife made over $4.6 million over the course of their espionage career. $4.6 million over the course of their espionage career. Tenet Media made like $10 million over a year. What a loser. Oh my god. Tokyo Rose, yeah, heard about her. Rosenbergs. This is a crazy story. In 1953, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg were the first American civilians executed under Section 2 of the Espionage Act. Charges related to passing atomic bomb secrets to Russian agents. The data came from Ethel's brother, who worked on the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos. Guys, I'm not sure if you saw what was his name? Oppenheimer. Because I did. And of course, this movie is completely, overwhelmed with those counter-espionage guys searching for the moles, right? And at the same time, of course, there were Russian spies. Of course. A lot of people think that, the role of Russian spies in destabilizing countries, etc., is exaggerated. I have bad news for them. Robert Hansen is a former FBI agent who spied for Soviet and Russian intelligence services against the United States for 22 years. Oh my god. During his espionage career, Hansen compromised scores of investigations and operations, including the surveillance of the suspected mole Felix Bloch, and completed an eavesdropping tunnel directly under the Soviet embassy decoding room. Worse, however, were his leaks to the USSR of every KGB agent contacting the FBI, conveniently identifying detected double agents and prospective defectors alike. Such a beautiful American man, such a true hero of his motherland. Guys, everybody has those people. In every country you can think of, there are those guys. And the problem is that, Russia pays well. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of oil. Nidal Malik Hassan was a U.S. Army major and the sole suspect in a shooting at the Fort Hood military base only weeks before he would have deployed to Afghanistan. Prior to the shooting, Hassan had repeatedly expressed extremist views, most of which had been communicated to his superiors and the FBI. The feds had even monitored his emails to Imam Anwar al-Awlaki, also known as the Bin Laden of the Internet. Sadly, political correctness and a slow-moving investigation prevented the army from taking action before Hassan murdered 13 people and wounded 30 others. John Walker Jr. in 1967, Navy communications officer John Walker. What was the name of that young dude from the National Guard who was like, sharing the secret data all over the internet, all over the Discord? Snuck into the Soviet embassy in Washington and offered to sell secrets. It's so easy. Oh my god, you just walk there and just tell them, dudes, I will share your secrets, our secrets to you. He then handed over settings for the KL-47 cipher machine, which decoded sensitive US Navy messages. His motivations were purely financial, and he proved to be a screaming bargain. Over the next 17 years, Walker gave the KGB the locations of all American nuclear submarines. Oh my god. Moreover, KGB agents learned every American troop and air movement to Vietnam from 1971 to 1973, and they passed this on to their allies, including the planned sites and the times for US airstrikes against North Vietnam. According to Vitaly Yurchenko, a KGB defector, it was the greatest case in KGB history. We deciphered millions of your messages. If there had been a war, we would have won it. This is crazy, but we should remember such cases. We definitely should. Because those who forget about the past, they're doomed to go through it over and over and over again. And by the way, the least comes from the least verse. There's a lot of different lists on this website. You may like it. Here, I will drop it in the chat. There. We don't hear of Edward Snowden these days. Anyone know why that is? All news about him has gone very silent. That's a good question, because eventually people like Edward Snowden they get the memory of them gets swallowed by the eternity. They just walk into an open window eventually, or drink some sketchy Russian tea. Their oil sells very well, so why not buy traders who want some easy money? Absolutely. Did Putin lock him in the secret Kremlin dungeon? No. No, I don't think so. He could send him to, like, I don't know, Ussurisk. Nobody ever returned from Ussurisk. How about guys like Speaker Johnson getting Russian money? You see, we can only talk about such cases when we have like hard proofs, hard evidence. In some cases, we have them, in others, we don't, and unfortunately, Speaker Johnson is not the case. Do you have a favorite presidential debate meme? Oh my god, there were so many of them. The coolest one was sent to me, I believe, by Dick Dawson, and Let me see if I can share it with you guys, because it was extremely cool. It was just insanely cool. Just a second. Come on, share it. Share it. You're gonna love it, because I laughed my freaking ass off. Okay, here it is. Get ready.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I hope you like this one. It was good. Oh, Sweetoch or Roshan chocolate, which is better? Oh, Sweetoch or Roshan? I would pick Roshan. There are several confectories in Ukraine. There is Sweetoch, Roshan, AVK. AVK is really, really good. They make extremely cool milk chocolate, because I prefer milk chocolate because I'm a baby. Roshan also does really, really nice milk chocolate. Sweetoch, I tried, it's good, but I think it's not as good as Roshan. Not because I voted for Poroshenko, but generally the quality of chocolate overall. Are Ukrainians superstitious about Friday 13? It's like this. Generally, people in Ukraine, and I'm talking about like vast majority of people in Ukraine, they will be like this. Like they walk down the street, and then there's like black cat crosses the sidewalk, and we usually we just stop and we laugh at it, and we're like, haha, look at that cat. Oh my god, nobody believes in superstitions. Let's go that way. This is what we do every freaking single time. Every single time. Like you wake up Friday 13 and you post a funny meme about Friday 13, like being just a funny superstition, and then you stay home just in case. You better call your boss and tell him that you're sick or something, and you just stay home just in case. Nobody makes better chocolate than the Irish. Really? Okay, I gotta check it out. I have like Irish butter here, like in the fridge. And it's really good. It's extremely nice. As for chocolate, like if you have proper butter, you can make chocolate as well. I gotta try. Funny, not funny. Bugs me that we're kind of laughing at what other cultures might eat. All cultures have different things. Lisa, I never heard about other cultures eating cats. Generally, dogs, yeah. Cats, I don't think so. And generally, dogs are like, it's not a widespread fashion to eat dogs. I feel German and Swiss chocolate is the best. Dutch chocolate tastes like cardboard. I don't know. I bought Belgian chocolate the other day. And they say that Belgian chocolate and Belgian beer is like the best. There is a good foundation to those claims. I tell you that. I have not tasted like best beer and best chocolate yet, so probably I will find it. But there is like a reason they say that Belgian chocolate and Belgian beer is best. I don't know how people can eat like black chocolate, like the bitter chocolate. What's the point? You should enjoy life. You should drink coffee with like 4 spoons of sugar in it. You should eat milk chocolate because it's sweet. We should enjoy life, guys. When you feel depressed, when you feel demoralized, demotivated, you should always make yourself some kind of gifts. Reward yourself somehow with proper food. For example, I had this habit since 2022, since summer, when I lost some of my good friends. I had this habit of mourning my friends with sushi, like literally, because when you learn about your friend being killed, and which is even worse, you have to speak to his family, that is really, really demotivating. Really demotivating. And in order to, stay sane, I would go to my favorite place in Kiev, order sushi, and mourn my friends. Maybe it sounds crazy, but this is something that kept me sane. I like chocolate with chili and cinnamon. Chocolate with chili? I don't know how to comment this. Chocolate with chili. If it's not a crime, Cheryl, I don't know what to tell you. It's like pickles with honey. It's like, I don't know. It's like Tesla with but generally Tesla is a perversion. Anyways, I love hot honey too. I love hot honey as well. In Ukraine, we even have like this horilka, this vodka with red pepper and honey, and it's so cool. If you feel sick, you gotta just take it and drink it with lemon and go to bed. And in the morning, you feel completely refreshed and healthy. Spicy chocolate? No, no. Don't say this, please. How can it be? How can spicy chocolate be amazing? I mean, it's supposed to be sweet and milky and sweet. There's like this tea in Tibet that you drink with butter and salt. It's I don't know how you even call this a tea. It's not supposed to be like this. I love how in World War III we can have such a chill chat with Starsky. My dear friend, this is why we are family, because this is how we keep each other sane and safe mentally. Oh, wild honey wine is usually very good. What kind of wines there is in Ukraine? In Ukraine, we had several really, really nice places where we would make wine. One is Koblevo, another one was Crimea, Odessa also, I think. And generally, Ukrainians drink a lot of Georgian wine. So we have this wine making culture. Again, in Crimea, we had some really nice wineries. We had wine gardens that Russians just snatched from us. So those were good. But generally, back in those old days, when I used to drink like wine, I would probably drink Georgian wines. Georgian wines are really, really cool. They are really special. Something like Saperavi. Saperavi is nice. When you say red pepper in vodka, what do you mean? Like literally red pepper? Okay, I will show it. Because it's much better than just talk about it. Pertsivka, this is how we call this amazing stuff. So, this is Pertsivka. This is literally vodka with red pepper in it. And this one is medova. It means honey with pepper. And here you can see logo of UFC. Holy freaking, it's like, you know, vodka that sponsors UFC, generally alcohol producing companies that sponsor like sports, it's like having sex in the name of virginity. It's literally something that I find absolutely amazing. But this one is cool. This one is Pertsivka. This is pepper vodka. You take, if you feel sick, okay, you take this stuff. It's hot as hell. You cannot save yourself. You literally drink it and it starts burning, and you have to withstand this for several minutes. And then you should also eat lemon. It will, tame your pain at least just a bit. But you gotta go to bed exactly after that, and in the morning you will see. If you survived, you'll be absolutely healthy. If not, then, it was a good try. There was a question about tequila. Yeah, tequila is nice. Was I serving? I think I was serving. I think I was. My friend sent me a true tequila from like Canada, and it was really good. Beef jerkies, we also have beef jerkies, and my favorite ones, I will show them to you because they were so good. I remember even before the war, they were really, really nice. Oh my god, jerky. So this is the brand that we have in Ukraine. It's called Jerky. Don't ask why. And the meat itself is extremely nice. It comes in several different types. It's chicken, turkey, pork, and beef. Beef is my favorite, or was it pork? Beef is my favorite. And they're cool. You can literally eat them for hours. Generally in Ukraine, we have this culture of eating like jerky, like not smoked but dried meat. You can literally go to all kinds of grocery stores and buy yourself like 200 grams of chicken jerky, and it's really nice. And like 200 grams of beef jerky, and just put them in your pockets and go and eat them. It's like so good. Tastes well with beer, wine, and tomato juice. Dried salmon, I love this one. I absolutely love this one. And my friend AK Crowd47 sent me like several packs of jerky. I think, was it alpaca? I think it was alpaca and crocodile. Literally, it was really cool. Something like extreme. Basturma. Oh, my Ukrainian brother mentioned this one. Basturma. What is basturma? Michael Rosales, how do you say delicious in Ukrainian? Смачно. We say смачно. So, basturma. Влад, дуже дякую за підказочку. Let me show this because it's so nice. Turks call it pasturma, okay? In Ukraine, we call it basturma. It's a semi-smoked, semi-dried meat. I would say it's cold smoked meat. So generally, you take meat, you put it into all kinds of spice. Like there must be like this thick layer of different spices. It must be really, really hot. But generally, you don't eat them, and you put them for a week or two in, like on a window or in the basement. It depends on what sort of meat you're talking about. And then when it's ready, you take it and you remove the layer of spice and you cut it in like very, very thin slices. And it's so good with the beer. It's extremely hot, extremely spicy, and it's extremely, extremely good. It's really, really nice. If you enjoy beer. Oh my God. Vlad reminded me this story when I went to the grocery store, and instead of basturma, I said masturba, which made the cashier laugh like crazy. But it's a really, really nice stuff. If you're in Ukraine, you gotta definitely try it. Yeah, looks like pastrami. That is something similar, I think. Eaten in a sandwich or with a salad. You eat it itself without anything. You just take beer and take that stuff. It's fantastic. And You can also make basturma from like horse meat. Sometimes they do like smoked horse meat. You can also make basturma out of horse meat, and it's more like tough, more solid, more rigid, but at the same time it's just so good. It's just amazing. Dried flavored meat sticks are just great. Exactly. And also, they contain a lot of proteins. That is something really, really important. If you want to gain mass, yeah. I don't want to eat the horsey. I tried. Well, like, not like I was running after the horse, like trying to bite it from the back. Generally, we already had it prepared. But wasn't bad, actually. Master Bowers. Not Master Bob. Basturma. Master Ba is a different thing. Beer dogs and bratwurst. Or currywurst. Bratwurst, actually. Ever drink fermented horse milk? No, not this one. I literally prefer something like fresh milk, Fresh milk is the best. Native English speakers don't eat horse. We sometimes do. Beer dogs. I'm hungry now. Yeah, actually, me too. I had a dinner like a couple hours ago, but I'm literally drooling here, guys. Eat just about anything except horses. Cats. Why not? Cats. Guys, it's a must. We have to eat cats now. We have no other choice. Horse meat is sweet and jammy. I wouldn't say so. It tastes like any other meat, like beef, only more. Like when it's dry, it's like stone. You have to really bite it, I see people unsubscribing already. We don't eat horses or dogs. Apaches don't eat bears. Generally, it's a good question because generally people don't eat predators. We don't eat carnivorous animals besides fish. That is a reason why in most cases we only eat herbivorous animals, right? Why is that, by the way? Horse meat like kangaroo meat, very lean. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anybody eat filter? No. Don't try those. Okay, those are nasty. One time we ate a hedgehog. It's an old story. It's a very, very old story. I didn't want to do it, but we were really hungry. It's basically like eating vultures. For the next 3 days, your body is trying to, turn itself like inside out. 3 days straight, and you can die from that. Don't do it. Bear meat don't taste good. Do people even eat bears? I don't know. I heard that old-time Cossacks seldom ate meat, mostly fish. It's a good one. Guys, you probably know that I have a side channel. It's called Vibes Ukraine. And here on this channel, I have already three videos. The recent one was the most terrifying monsters of the Ukrainian folklore. If you didn't, please check it out. So in some of the future videos, I will be talking about Cossacks, because I decided to tell you to talk about several topics, including Cossacks, including Tripilia. And Tripilia is something that you probably have never heard about, but in Ukraine, we had this huge and ancient civilization that we shared, I think, with Romanians. We called them Tripilians, and Romanians called them in a different way. So those were interesting because they were building those massive settlements, thousands of buildings. Guys, it was approximately like 3,000 years ago. So I will talk about this one. I will talk about Cossacks 100% because they deserve it. And of course, Ukrainian Cossacks, like for Ukrainians, like nothing interesting here. For people who know about Ukraine, may be interesting. But I want to talk about Cossacks from the standpoint of an infantry, because Cossacks, and something that people don't really know about it, but Cossacks were among first professional armies armed with firearms. This is something incredible. I have a really good friend who told me everything about it, and he's a historian. And also, I will make another video dedicated to, again, because you don't see this information, you don't find this information much around the internet, like in official sources. Ukraine is a land of cherries and vodka with pepper. I will tell you a chilling story about one of the most horrifying maniacs in our area. That is something that I want to also share, because I remember those times I was a kid, and in Kyiv, everybody were terrified. So it's something that comes from my childhood as well. They fought a shitload of Turks. Absolutely, Marshall, but not only they fought Turks, sometimes they fought together with Turks. That, like, history is crazy. Absolutely. Budano with the male Mona Lisa. Yeah. Isn't Cossack just from somewhere around the Black Sea? No. They lived on the they were stationed initially on the territory of Zaporizhia. I will talk about it a lot. This one is really cool. Is there a history of underground or cave-dwelling communities in Ukraine, wartime Odessa? There is such story. There is like Odessa undergrounds. But generally, there's even more ancient story. There is a story about caves in Kiev that date back, I would say, like 1,000 years back, something like that. And in Kiev, we still keep finding those caves, like literally underground passages that were created by monks, by priests of Pečerska Lavra like 1,000 years ago. There is some kind of vehicle like bulldozer or tractor like working outside, cleaning the area, and it breaks the surface and goes down, and boom, there's like a tunnel like 1,000 years old. And we have a lot of such stories. I will talk about that as well in my future videos. I really hope you will like it. There is a secret railroad from Tiraspol to Odessa. Snow chains, my friend. There is a secret subway that is called the Stalin's subway in Kiev. I will briefly show it to you because it's really cool. And I've been there, actually. This stuff, you can see there's like tourists visiting this place. This stuff, it's a tunnel literally outside of, like almost outside of Kiev. It's in the ass of the city, right? It's really, really far away. And it was built for like government back in the times of the USSR. And it was abandoned, it was not really finished, but it's really cool. It's extremely cool. Before the war, a lot of like diggers, a lot of tourists were visiting this place. It's extremely interesting. If you like this idea, maybe I will talk about it as well. And showing sex. Actually, well, it looks like sex tunnels. I have been there. I saw tunnels. I didn't see sex, but it looks like sex tunnels. What else? So, if you ask Rick the Ukrainian, probably, if he's there, probably he will show it to you, by the way. Okay, my dear friends, I would like to say thank you for staying with me tonight, and just because of that, it wasn't that sketchy. Friday 13, my friends, it's always sinister day. My dear friends, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you for supporting Ukraine, and thank you for supporting my channel and my brigade. You are amazing and fantastic. Guys, we'll see you next time. Please eat something, because I will definitely go and finish like the whole pot of spaghetti with sausages. Oh my god, I'm literally starving after today's stream. I have no idea why. Okay, we'll see you later. Goodbye.